Hey people, welcome back to Gearjunkies TV and a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Frap Audio 2806 Dynamics processor. Maybe you know Frap Tools from the Eurorack modules, and they have founded a pro audio division now and named it Frap Audio. Their first product is a Dynamics processor and it is in the 500 series format. So let's check it out and listen to what it can do. But first, you can stay informed about all our videos by subscribing to our channel. Just click the subscribe button below the video and you can hit the bell button to get notifications when there's something new on our channel. The Dynamics 2806 is a single VCA mono expander and compressor for the 500 series format. The compressor reduces the gain based on the setting of the threshold, reducing the dynamic range. And the downward expander reduces the gain when a signal is below the set threshold. The expander and compressor have independent circuits, and the signal feeds a filter set and then an envelope follower, which creates a control voltage that feeds into independent sidechains. And those both influence the VCA level. The unit has two inputs, main and external sidechain, and two outputs, main and auxiliary. Let's go over the controls. The panel is divided into two sections, one for the compressor and one for the expander. It's a very clear layout. The main controls are easy to spot when you're familiar with Dynamics processor. So let's check out the compressor section. There's a threshold knob here, then there's the ratio, there's an attack and release, and there are some extra controls as well. There's a priority switch. The Dynamics 2806 can compress and expand at the same time, and when you enable the switch, the expander works only when the compressor is not reducing the signal's gain. The classic switches the time constant set of the compressor. Default is quite sharp and precise, and it can add harmonic distortion if pushed into higher levels, and in classic mode it can add some artifacts or a pumping sound with less harmonic distortion. Then there's a reference switch. It determines where the feedback of the threshold detection goes to, pre or post makeup, so it gives more control over the makeup gain. And then there's the contour, which is a shelving EQ that attenuates the low end. Then if we take a look at the expander section, it also has a threshold and an expansion ratio for setting the level of attenuation. And there's also an attack and release. There's in addition a dual filtering EQ for the high pass and low pass of the signal. The general controls in the middle are for makeup gain and parallel control. And the makeup is attenuation only, and the parallel control mixes the unprocessed signal in like you would do on a parallel setup with a mixing desk. And the external sidechain switch in the up position here sends the external signal to the compressor. In the mid settings it sums it with the internal sidechain, and in the down setting it sends the external sidechain to the expander section only. The switch also affects the aux output. In compressor and in sum mode the output is a copy of the processed compressor sound, and in expander mode it is a copy of the unprocessed sound before the VCA. And finally there's the bypass switch, which has two settings. In bypass mode the input directly is routed to the output, or called a hard bypass, and in off mode the sound still passes through its circuit, including the transformer section. So overall this creates a very versatile set of tools to shape a number of different sounds. But we're also curious how it handles the distortion and what the resulting signal sounds like. And as we are an electronic music channel, we will run some classic electronic signals through it and let you listen to what happens when the settings are changed in real time. And for the demo purposes, I will just briefly explain with each example what we are putting through it, and then you can listen without voice to the sound. So in this first example, I've hooked up an 808 kick playing at its longest decay, and we will run it through the compressor, and then we will also listen to the sidechain. I have attached the snare of the 808 to the sidechain, and we will listen to it, what that does to both the compressor and the expander circuit. So here is the 808 with the dynamics to 806 switched off, and we switch it to bypass and then to on. So in this second example, I've attached an old Boss DR110 drum machine, and it's just playing a pattern, and let's listen to what the compressor can do with that. We will start in bypass mode again, and as the output volume of the DR110 is quite low, you will notice a difference when I switch the compressor to off and then to on. In the off mode, please also listen to what the transformer circuit does with the DR110 sound. And in the third example, I've attached a Roland 3B303 baseline. And we will first explore the expander functions with it, and then I will tune in the compressor as well in priority mode. So in that case, the expander will be disconnected as soon as the compressor function starts to work. And please also listen to what happens when I dial in the resonance of the filter of the TB33, because then usually the volume level drops, and let's see if this compressor can compensate for that in a nice way. What do we think of the Dynamics 2806? Its circuit is light and straightforward, but a few switches in the right spots can really change its behavior, making it suitable for creative compression, transient shaping, de-essing, sidechaining, and parallel processing. It is great that it combines the compressor and expander functions and has an easy way to combine them. In the fastest mode, it's very accurate and it's really a VCA compressor. Strong points are the layout of the controls and the overall quality feel and the way they designed the parallel circuit. It is a precision tool to process a large variety of audio signals. And the transformer circuit is useful by itself to amplify or warm up audio channels. The distortion with low attack release settings is warm and useful and has a typical character. Minor flaws are that the priority and classic switches are a bit small and it's not very visible if they are pressed in or not. They could maybe do with a LED indicator or a higher knob. But overall, it's a good quality product with a fresh layout and a clear sound with lots of tweaking options. A great first product from Frap Audio, so let's hope more will follow. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.